Hello, and welcome to another Rang Rouge unit of the week, and today we are taking a look at the Panzer IV J, available to the Trophy SS and 9th Panzer Divisions. So the Panzer IV was the main medium tank that the Germans relied on from the mid to later stages of the Second World War. It was pretty effective, it had just enough armour, a little bit inadequate, but also a very powerful gun that could deal with the majority of Allied tanks. And because of that, and it wasn't extremely expensive to produce or unreliable compared to other German designs, it was very much in need because it was just so decent. But once you get to the later stages of the Second World War, the Germans aren't in the best position. Their factories are getting bombed, they're losing territory, and they just don't really have much money. And they need to try and cut corners on the Panzer IV development so they could keep producing them at a mass-produced rate. And so, from the Panzer IV H, which was the latest model at this time, they decided to make another model, the Panzer IV J, but it was a downgrade in pretty much every single sense of the word to cut corners and make it easier to produce. Some of the major changes that they did: they changed the transmission system to a Panzer III transmission system. And because the Panzer III is a much lighter tank, that meant in the Panzer IV J, it was very overloaded and it would suffer reliability issues. But the major difference, yeah, I have to say, is they went from an electrical operated turret to a hand-cranked manual operated turret, which made turret traverse times extremely slow. It'd make just under 3,000 of these Panzer IV Js during the last stages of the Second World War, and they still had the gun and they still had the armour, but it lost a lot of the bells and whistles. In game, the Panzer IV J is a 125 point unit available to the Trophy SS and 9th Panzer Divisions, and it has 2 weapons available to it. So weapon loadout rise is exactly the same as a Panzer IV H. You got the same 75mm gun with 14 AP at 1 km range, and 3 MG34s for stunning up infantry and get a little bit too close. It's a rather effective weapon loadout. The cannon is really top tier, as it will deal with the majority of Allied tanks that dare to get in your 1 km kill radius. Pop down to miscellaneous stats, you got 8 frontal armor, 3 at side and 3 at back, and you are also an enclosed vehicle. You have very bad stealth, a speed of 20 km off-road and 43 km on the road, and a very low optics capability. In battle, if we look at the stats of a Panzer IV J compared to the Panzer IV H, it seems a little bit silly how it's 15 points cheaper, where it really is the same tank. You just lose some side armor essentially, but it does have the difference of they did model that the Panzer IV J does have a hand cranked turret, which makes turret traverse times rather slow, as you can see. It's not a huge issue in the sense when you're attacking, because most of the time stuff's going to be in front of you, and because your AI usually moves the tank body to aim at the enemy tank, it's not too slow. But when you're flying over hedgerows and flanking and trying to turn your turret 90 degrees to deal with a Stuart, it does make quite a noticeable difference. But apart from that, that's really the only major downside, and you got a tank at 125 points that can kill most Allied tanks. Yes, it doesn't have good armor, and that is the major downfall of the Panzer IVs in general, they're very respectable to pretty much the majority of Allied AT guns and weaponry in general. In terms of deck usage, you can get them in the Trophy SS deck, or I wouldn't really recommend it, just get some Panzer IV H's and some Panthers. But really, the Panzer IV J comes into light in the 9th Panzer Division, because you get 125 points to take from B phase, and the Panzer IV J is very fittingly 125 points. And it also comes with 1-star veterancy, so even though you do have a slightly inferior tank, you have the veterancy and you can buy one a minute, which is pretty damn good. Overall, the Panzer IV is a reliable medium tank. It does feel a little bit inadequate just because of its armor value, but if you can get the first shot on any Allied tank, you're most likely going to win. And this is a really good spam tank that you can get in the 9th Panzer Division, especially if the card availability is available. And I'm going to stop rambling and leave it at that. It's been another Ang Rouge of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.